Hi guys, welcome everyone to the live stream. It's Avinash Sable time. Finally, he'll be competing in the 3000 m Steeplechase Heats tonight. His is the second heat. The first heat just ended. So just to get all our audience members on board, the top five athletes from each heat goes on to play in the finals, and there are three heats. So a total of 15 finalists will be competing for the medal places. Uh, hi. Welcome to whoever is in the chat. Anirudh, hi. Sable Steeplechase, it's about to begin, Anirudh. It's about to begin. We have Pritish and this is Shayan joining in. So yeah, we'll take you through whatever is happening in the Steeplechase event, and it has just kicked off as we speak.
The race has started, guys, and the top five will go to the final. So now we have to look what our man from Maharashtra does here.
Yeah. So just a few talking points. His personal best and season best both came in the recent Paris Diamond League, which happened last month. That is of 8.09 and 91 seconds. His current world ranking is number 15th in the world. And just to take you through a few of the major contenders in this particular heat who are there alongside him competing are world rank 3 Abraham Kibiot from Kenya, a tough competitor, of course. World rank 4 Samuel Fireus from Ethiopia, and the Japanese Ryuji Miura, whose world rank is 9 at the moment. They're all in the same heat. So it will still be a task for Avinash Sable to finish fifth in this particular heat. What do you think, Pritish? What's going to happen today?
I think at the moment, it's been 1 minute, and ideally Sable is like we are closing on to the first 500 meter. Sable is still at the top of race. So when you look at it, there are definitely tough contenders, but Sable has been, a consistent performer himself. And when you see the race of Paris Diamond League again, this man did brilliantly there in a tough field. So let's see how it goes for him. It's been, he's still leading. But the point is that's the beauty of a steeplechase. It's a very measured race. You can't go like from first minute you are top of the race. Doesn't happen that way. You have to pace down. You have to make strategy. You don't have to get into the crowd of runners which run in the middle. You have to maintain. You have to be part of either the leading pack or the middle pack if you are targeting specific thing, because a lot of times, for example, Sable when ran in interstate, he didn't target timing. He was just there for some practice. He wanted to win. He practiced, who went to Paris Diamond League, was the part of the he was leading the second pack, and his timing improved, became the first ever Indian to enter the sub 8:10 wala timing. I think people are saying that, bro, live. So the live race is live on Geo Cinema, guys. If you want to
If
watch,
you want to watch it live, you can watch it live there, guys. It's live, being played on Geo Cinema as we speak, and we are entering the 1000 m point at this moment in time. Avinash Sable is still leading the pack. He crossed his 1000 m point at 2 minutes 40 seconds and 8 milliseconds. So that is promising so far, but we have to see if he can maintain this momentum and finish strong, which is the most important bit of any steeplechase race, like Pritish mentioned just now. It looks like he has a solid plan. He started strong. He's fallen in third position right now, but yeah, as long as he can stay with the middle pack, we can be hopeful about a top five finish, which will put him in the final race as well.
yeah, I mean, the guys who are in the lead right now are expected to lead this. You can't expect anyone else to lead when you have someone like Kiviot in your heat. So I think that is the most important bit, as Shan mentioned, that he has to be in the middle pack. He has to be in that top five position somewhere, so that he gets to the final. And he has done well till now. So let's see what he does next.
Yeah. Also, speaking about Sable at the Olympics, I remember in Tokyo he narrowly missed out on reaching the final. So there must be a fire burning within him, which hopefully will propel him to the final places, going into the end of the race here tonight. But again, as I mentioned, there are three rank holders in who are ahead of him in the world rankings, who are in the same heat. So, like Pritish mentioned, it's obviously going to be a difficult race. But as we can see, he's still in the middle pack. He is right now. Uh, He's right now in
Fourth.
fourth position. Yeah, he's in fourth position with Fireu leading the pack right now. But yeah, we'll still have to wait and watch key what eventually conspires. And
Sablin needs to be careful of the hurdles. He has a history of tripping those hurdles. He did it in the Paris Diamond League also. That slowed him down. He lost the steam. So I think at the moment he's at the fourth, and probably he is conserving his energy because he doesn't want to fall much behind, and he wants to have that last kick going into the last lap. The last couple of laps. So we are reaching the 5 minute mark. Sablé is doing pretty well.
pretty well. And as you can see, the athletes ahead of him, the difference is not that much. So if he decides to accelerate at any point, he can do so at will. But again, like I mentioned multiple times before, when you have experienced athletes alongside you who are ranked higher in the world, and for a reason, there's a need to pace yourself well to be able to finish in the top five places. But yeah, so far so good. Another hurdle coming up, and yeah, he goes past that pretty easily. So yeah, things looking good so far. Samuel Fireu has taken the top spot from Sable going into the last couple of laps. He's in third place right now, just behind Samuel Fireu and Abraham Kiviot. The two athletes that we mentioned previously are the biggest, who are the biggest threats to his top five position. But yeah, as long as he doesn't let anybody else go ahead of him, that's all we can hope for.
Sable was good. Sable did first lap of like first 1000 meter pretty well. Second 1000 meter, he was not much far from behind 528.1, 528.4, and 520.7.
Yeah,
That's just a difference of 6 milliseconds. So
milliseconds.
not
Yeah,
not much far. They have been. So I think the idea for these guys also is to not exert themselves today. Their idea is very clear:
yeah.
win the qualification, finish in top five, book your ticket for final, and go ahead and do everything in final.
But that is also the tricky bit now, where
Yeah.
sometimes it works out in a way that you take it a
Hmm.
little too casually in the middle of the race, and you can fall too far behind and not be able to recover. But
That's there.
uh,
That's there. Sable
yeah,
has just tripped, and this is what I was fearing. He has come back to five, but I think he will get his position back. But he did trip. He did trip once, and it was at a very crucial juncture. Luckily, he didn't fall. Luckily, nothing happened. So, but yeah, Sable needs to be careful about the fact that what is happening with him. His this thing. So this is the final lap.
final lap is
We have
starting as we
400
speak.
more meters left. Last 400 meter. Very careful, very casual. Sable needs to be, but I think the top five are quite in place. They have, kept the pack is racing away from the other five. So I don't think it's really a worry for Sable. It's just a matter of where he finishes and what timing he will clock. So at the moment, I think how I am looking at it, he is going to clock a good time. Like probably not his national record, but a good time.
Yeah. Again, to remind everybody, the national record as we speak stands at 8 minutes, 9 seconds, and 91 milliseconds, which was set in the Paris Diamond League last month by Avinash Sable. So yeah, let's see if he can better that mark. But even if he doesn't, it doesn't really matter
So
as much.
Sable has fallen down to the fifth place, and there is a lot of gap. But Sable, I think, will finish until unless someone comes in. People have, you know, used their. So that's just a last minute finish. That's a
Yeah.
that's a close finish.
Yeah,
That's a
Sable
close finish.
Sable finishes the race at with a timing of 8 minutes, 15 seconds, and 40 milliseconds. So yeah, good news all around. Sable has qualified. Yeah, as we speak, the qualification sign has just
Hmm.
popped up against his name. So Avinash Sable, for all of you who have just joined in, has qualified for the finals. Uh,
Fifth position.
in the fifth position. So Jyoti Prakash in the comments, if you if you want to know what is his position in the heat, it's not heat one for Sabri, it's heat two, and he has finished fifth in his heat, his individual heat, and he is moving on into the finals, which will happen in a couple of days. But yeah, good news all around after a tricky day for India, where we saw quite a few medal opportunities go to waste. But Avinash Sable, we can call him a shining light for the day, which has mostly been disappointing. But yeah, again, that's the magic of athletics. You can always hope for the big guns to deliver when the moment arrives. And looking at his performance today, I think he paced himself really well. The last 1,000 meters were a little tricky for him, but
Means no chance of medal. Guys, I again clear it. He has qualified for final. This was not a medal event. He has to go and play final. And final, you never know, anything can happen. This has happened in past when people with really good timings fail to win medal. Someone else comes and wins medal because it's a technical race. It's not a sprint or it's not a quarter mile. 4,000 meter where you go and you finish. It doesn't happen that way. Here you have to pace up, you have to build a strategy, you have to focus on when to kick in your energy, conserve your energy, and go on. That is what happens here.
yeah. And Anirudh, to answer your question again, you cannot really preempt what will happen in the final, because, like Pritish mentioned, in the heats, most people try to conserve their energy as much as possible to be able to perform better in the next race. Uh, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it was an impressive performance today from Sable, considering that he has been in good form recently, and he in a lot of ways timed the race to perfection in the end. And the difference between the fifth and the sixth athlete was pretty big. So no points, no complaints there. It was more than a second, the difference
I think it
between
was good that he didn't.
Sable and
He
Matthew
conserved
Wilkinson.
his energy, so I think he will have a. And surprisingly, the guy from Morocco has finished first,
Yeah,
which none of us were expecting.
yeah.
And this is his personal best also, which is even lower than Sabli. So I think this is clear that the strategy from all these seasoned runners was to just conserve their energy and finish in top five.
And the three names that we had mentioned in the starting of the live interaction, Samuel Fireu, Abram Kibior, and Ryuji Miura, the Ethiopian, Kenyan, and Japanese, respectively. They've all finished ahead of Sableb, and the surprise, like Pritish mentioned, is Moroccan Mohamed Tindov, who has registered a personal best in on his way to qualifying for the final. Yeah, that is it for now. But Pritesh, if we have to speak about the his medal chances in the final race, uh, securing a medal will be difficult, because there are seasoned athletes apart from the three that we mentioned, like Sofiane El Bakali, Lamecha Girma, and all of them are there.
But the interesting bit is Bakali's heat timing are just showing up to me, and he has they have clocked 8:18. So this was a faster heat. Had Sable clocked 8:15 in the other heat, he would have topped that race.
Yes, yes.
So it's a good qualification. It's a really good qualification.
Yeah, just to give people a little bit more context, El Bakali is undoubtedly one of the favorites, the Moroccan, and he competed in the first heat earlier in the day, just a few minutes before Sabli's heat started, and he topped his particular heat at 8 minutes 17 seconds and 90 milliseconds. So, like Pritish mentioned, if Avinash Sable was competing in that particular heat, he would have finished ahead of everybody else and finished first in that particular heat. So again, can't really have any complaints from Sable at this point, because uh, you can understand the strategy going forward. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the final. Jyoti Prakash is asking what is the schedule for India on day 8. The schedule article is already up on our website, Jyoti Prakash, and the schedule graphic will be up in a few minutes from now. So you can check the schedule and mark your calendar accordingly for tomorrow. We have Neeraj Chopra tomorrow. His qualification event is tomorrow in
Kishore
men's
Jana.
javelin, as well as Kishore Jana, of course. And we have the all important hockey semi-final against
Great
Germany.
Britain.
Against Germany.
Sorry, Germany. Sorry. My bad.
Against-
Great Britain we defeated. My
Yeah,
bad. It's too much
against-
of work in night now.
So yeah, that is what we are going to be looking forward to tomorrow. But again, going back to Avinash Sable and his performance, I think
Good one.
we
No doubt.
can't
No
have any
complaints
complaints.
from it.
Yeah,
He did
yeah.
what he had to do.
Uh, a lot of people would be pardoned to think that he would probably not be able to make it, considering the type of day that we have had so far.
Yeah.
But again, credit to him that he timed his race perfectly and finished in fifth, just in time to qualify for the final race. That is it from us at the bridge for the time being. Thank you for joining in. We've had quite a few comments, quite a few people staying up late to watch Avinash Sable, which speaks volumes about the fandom that he commands from athletics fans all over the country. I hope you all had a good time. We could give you some insight and some context as to what you can expect going into the final race. But we have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that Avinash Sable can perform a miracle and clinch one of the podium positions in the final 3000 meter
One of the
steeplechase
greatest
race.
moments for Indian athletics if that happens.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
can hope.
Of course, going back to the Commonwealth Games, where his name was between two Kenyan athletes who
That
were
was
the undoubted.
rare.
Yeah, that moment, if that moment can be replicated, that will probably be the standout moment for the Indian overall Indian contingent at the athletics, for sure. Because athletics, especially an event like steeplechase, it's very tough. It's very difficult to compete in, and Avinash Sable has been our star in that particular event for quite some years now. And of course, we all wish he can go ahead and do the needful going into the final. Thank you again. Thank you for joining us late at night. It's almost 11. It's actually more than 11 p.m. now. We'll be back tomorrow with a lot more action. We'll be covering all the important events and all the other, each and every single event that will happen tomorrow. It's not a very hectic day. Just to give you some context, we have a few important events and we have continuation of previous events as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But again, thank you for joining in. Keep liking, keep supporting, keep sharing our content. The support link is in the description below. It's also there in the chat. You can go ahead and support us in whatever way you can. It always helps to bring out a new content and helps us and motivates us to dig deep and bring out stories that need to be heard. You can follow all our content on our website, thebridge.in, all the articles, all the insight, all the analysis, as well as our social media platforms. From Shayan and from Pritish, good night. Take care.
Good night, guys. Have a good sleep.